Hello, folks. We're back here with another recommendation for this week as part of the ABC Minions group. So the book I've taken here is The Fir Tree. It's actually a cute little story, but I'm sure that even toddlers would like it, and kids who just started reading will also enjoy that. So I thought, let me do a story reading session this time. So I'll right away get started. Okay, this is the cover of the book, and it is from pegasusforkids.com, and this was one of the book that I received for review from Explore Kids World. They do provide you with a lot of educational aids for homeschooling, and a lot of activity. Kids do check their page out. So let's get started with the story reading. Okay. Yeah, this is from Pegasus and Explore Kids World. Okay. Long ago, there was a young fir tree. He grew up in a forest surrounded by tall pine and other fir trees. The sun shone on him brightly, and the wind blew it through its leaves. But the little fir tree was not happy. He wanted to be tall like the other trees. "Oh, when will I grow up like you all?" he sighed. "Enjoy your days, little fir tree. Do not long for things that will happen later," advised the sun. The little children from the village ran around the tree. They often came with pitcher full of berries and sat down near the young tree. "Oh, how pretty this little fir tree is!" But this was not what the tree wanted to hear. A few years passed and the fir tree grew a little taller, but he was still unhappy. "Oh, I'm still not tall as the others," sighed he. "I wish I grow tall quickly so that I can spread out my branches and look at the wide world. Only then will all the birds make their nests in my branches." In winter, when the snow lay glittering on the ground, a hare often came leaping along, and it jumped right over the little tree. This made the fir tree very angry. 2 winters passed, and in the third, the tree was so large that the hare could only hop around it. To grow and grow, to get older and taller is the most delightful thing in the world, exclaimed the fir tree. In autumn, the woodcutters always came and felled some of the largest trees. This happened every year, and the young fir tree, which had then grown to a huge size, trembled at the sight. The magnificent trees fell to the earth, cracking. The branches were chopped off, and the trees looked long and bare. They could hardly be recognized, and then they were laid in carts and dragged out of the forest. Where did they go to? What became of them? No one knew. In spring, flowers blossomed and everything looked fresh and green. When the swallows and storks flew over the forest, the fir tree asked them, "Do you know where the fir trees have been taken?" The swallows did not know anything about it, but the storks did. "Yes, we saw many ships as we were flying from Egypt. On the ships were magnificent masts which were made out of fir trees." Saying this, the birds flew away, leaving the fir tree to think. When Christmas came, fine-looking young trees were cut down. They were laid on carts, and the horses drew them out of the forest. "Where are they going?" asked the fir tree. "They are not taller than I. Where are they taken?" The sparrows who were flying above chirped, "We know, we know. We have peeped through the windows of the houses in the towns below, and we saw the trees planted in the middle of the beautiful rooms, decorated with gilded apples, gingerbread, toys, and many lights." Saying this, the sparrows flew away. "I wonder if I'm destined for such a glorious career or not," cried the fir tree. "Happily, if only Christmas would come. I'm not tall, and my branches spread like the ones that were carried off last year. Oh, how I wish I too will stand decorated like those trees someday. The fir tree's friends were worried to see him become restless. Rejoice in your youth, said the sunlight and the wind. But the tree was not happy at all. He grew and was green in all the seasons. One day, as Christmas approached, he was one of the first trees to be cut down. The axe struck deep into him and he fell to the earth with a sigh. The fir tree knew that he would never see his dear old friends anymore. He was placed in a cart with few other trees and was carried away to the town. The fir tree was taken to a huge mansion. He was unloaded in a courtyard with the other trees. He heard a man say, "That one is splendid, we don't want the others." Then the two well-dressed servants came and carried the fir tree into a large, splendid drawing room. Portraits hung in the wall and there were large silken sofas, large tables full of picture books and toys. The fir tree was stuck upright in a cask that was filled with sand. The fir tree stood alone and trembled. "I wonder what will happen to me." The servants and few young ladies decorated it. On one branch they hung little bags of sugar plums, and in the other boughs they hung gilded apples, wreaths, and garlands. The fir tree had never been decorated like this before. He was very happy. "How lovely I look! I wish my friends would see me like this," he thought to himself. In the evening, lots of children rushed into the room. The older people followed. The children danced around the tree and they were rejoicing everywhere. They took off the candies one after the other from the tree. The fir tree had never seen anything like this before. It was the best evening of his life. A little later, an old fat man entered the room and the children ran to him and cried, "Tell us a story." The old man sat under the tree and said, "Now I'll tell you the story of Humpty Dumpty, who fell down and still got a princess for his wife." The fir tree stood quietly and enjoyed the story. The next morning, the servants came into the room. "Now they will decorate me again," thought the fir tree happily. But they dragged him out of the room and placed him in a dark loft. The fir tree was shocked. "What's the meaning of this?" Many days passed and the fir tree lay sadly in the dark, thinking about the glorious Christmas evening. One morning, the fir tree was carried out in the courtyard. Some children were playing in the courtyard. "What an ugly Christmas tree! Its leaves are all yellow," they said. Just then, a servant came and chopped the fir tree into tiny pieces, and in this manner ended the life of the fir tree who always wanted to grow tall. The end. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the story time, guys, and please do give me your comments if you want me to do such story readouts as well, or if I'll just continue with my book review. This would actually help me plan ahead. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you liked it, and I will put up a post with the details from where I got the book from, so do watch out for that as well. Thank you.